why are you making an X11 server? I know that's really broad and we can branch out a lot from there, but just at like a high level, why start the project?
Right. So in almost all of the projects that I made, I've had issues with Wayland because of restrictions, and the reasons are not technical, but because of the decisions that they have made to design the Wayland compositors for their own. They mostly only think about their own applications and the style of applications that would fit their desktop, and not the general applications that might need to do something unusual. Often the case, for example, if you make some application that looks like an application that was on Windows, that won't really work that well on Wayland. So I
What do you
try
mean
to
by
make
that?
my own.
Before you go on any further.
Yeah, for example, in GPU screen recorder, it's designed to look like NVIDIA Shadow Play, and it's a full screen overlay. It's transparent. And for example, in the Wayland protocol, it says that a full screen transparent overlays are not allowed. The background has to be black. So I don't want a black background for the window. I want to see what's behind it.
Right, you want it to be like Shadowplay, you want it to appear over the game. I actually have
Yeah.
another similar idea to this which doesn't work properly on Wayland. I don't know if you've ever played Path of Exile, but for that there is a really common tool that people run called Awakened PoE Trade, which is a trading overlay which tells you the prices of items and things like that. On X11, works great. On Wayland, thankfully they have a fallback where it can run the overlay as a web browser window, so it's just in the window to the side, but the overlay part of it just doesn't function at all, like at all.
Yeah, so for example, in GPU screen recorder case, it runs as an X11 window on Wayland, and it happens to work in some compositors, but it's not really specified how X11 windows should behave. So it works on KDE and GNOME, but not on Cosmic, for example.
Right.
And Cosmic is not doing it wrong, just that it's undefined in the protocols, but it should do X11 windows. So it doesn't work properly. And there are also other issues with, if you want me to mention all of the issues, but there are too many. But
We have plenty of time.
yeah, so if you want to display an X11 window specifically full screen on one monitor, it doesn't really work that properly on Wayland. I've seen these examples, for example, if you try to run a D menu or applications like that on Wayland, it won't display properly. So I do a really bad ugly hack on Wayland when I try to display it on the focusing window monitor. Like I use, instead of, because I need to know the cursor position to know which monitor is focused. So I don't use Wayland for that. Instead, I look at the Linux DRM API, and I look where the cursor plane is, like the graphics where it's displayed. And you don't need root access to do that, which is funny. So you can get the cursor position on Wayland without any root access, but the Wayland protocol doesn't give you access to that. So
I had no idea that was a thing. Okay. That seems like a obvious oversight.
yeah, but it doesn't work in all cases. For example, if before some months ago or earlier than that, for example, in KDE, when you enable the VRR, it disabled the hardware cursor plane, so it draw the cursor directly on the monitor instead. So you can guess the position then. So in that case, I had to do another hack where, like, I create the X11 window that's not full screen. In that case, it will, most cases on Wayland compositors, create it on the correct monitor. So I just create it quickly and then get the position of the window to know where the focused monitor is.
Right. Right.
Yes, and then there are also other things I need to do in my application. For example, I need to get the focus window to put the recorded video, video in a folder with the name of the game, so you can automatically sort the games that you record. And that's not possible, as you know, on Wayland. So I need to use instead X11 to do that, and hopefully the focus window is in X11 window. That works right now because Proton runs as in X11 mode, but if you switch
yeah,
Wayland,
I was gonna say that's a toggle that you can now enable.
Yeah, so that will be a problem in the future. But you can do that on Wayland there is a protocol for that, but it's only implemented for VL Roots and Hypeland and some others. That's usually the case. And so, and also one thing in my application that I want to do is, like on Wayland, you can display a full screen overlay and like a specific position, things like that, but it doesn't work in DOM. And the same for my notifications that I have. I have custom notifications because one thing about that is a bit trouble in when you try to record with the desktop portal is when you're recording, it disables notifications usually on some Wayland compositors. So instead, in my own solution, I have my own notifications that always display, and I want them to show at a specific position, but GNOME doesn't want you to make custom notifications, so they don't allow you to put the window wherever you want.
Okay. So you're basically in a position where you have these hacks in places where you can have them, but the experience for a user is going to be different on each of these different compositor bases.
Yeah, so I end up using X11 in all cases because of that, and then that works better. So I'm forced to do that. Yeah, and there's a major issue is even if it could work on Wayland, all of this, I can't still use it because right now when Proton runs in X11 mode, one issue is that if you run a full screen game and then open another window, like an overlay on top of that, it will minimize the game. So
right.
Yeah, so I need to do another hack for that. I need to I can't move the focus to the overlay window. Instead, I have to grab the keyboard. In X11 you can grab the keyboard so other windows don't get focus, and then create an override window so it doesn't get the focus, the windows, but it still has input to the window. So it has like fake focus. Yeah, so and that doesn't work correctly with Wayland because you can't grab the keyboard on Wayland even in X11 mode. So it works if the focus window is an X11 window. So I have to detect if the focus window is an X11 windows on Wayland. And you can't really do that either. So I had to do other hacks for that.
So, okay. If you're on, let's just say KDE, because I'm sure the experience is going to be a mess across everything. If you're on KDE and you're using GPU Screen Recorder, is the experience going to be on par with the X11, like if you're running on X11, or is there still some stuff where even with all of your hacks, it doesn't work correctly?
For a lot of users, it seems to work as expected on X11 as well.
Okay.
In the same way that you would expect. But some features might not work if you use them. So if you don't use all features, then it will work.
Right, because when I was talking about Phoenix in my video, I mentioned that you were saying that like GPU Screen Recorder doesn't work properly on Wayland, and I had a bunch of comments, people saying, "No, it works just fine on Wayland. It works perfectly on Wayland."
Right.
So I guess with all of your hacks, you have got it to a point where even though it's a mess, like it works well enough for some people.
Yeah, but they haven't seen the bug reports that I get. So
I see.
Yeah, like almost all of them are related to Wayland. So
So, just for your own sanity is part of the reason why you want to make your own X11 server.
Yeah, and there are also other issues like this is an issue on both X11 and Wayland. But when I'm recording the screen, I want to hide the notification that is shown, but it shows up in the recording. But that's really not possible on Wayland and X11 right now if you don't record a specific window instead. So as an alternative, I have so you can show the recording status as a LED notification on your keyboard, like the scroll up LED. And you can change the scroll up LED on Wayland, as far as I know. So instead, I bypass the Wayland compositor and use root access to change the LED on the keyboard. And that has issues as well. So on X11, I could easily change it, but it doesn't work on Wayland, even with X Wayland mode. So